Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm this side of your shock chair. And today we've got a 1 vs 1 on the Fallen City. Playing on the right hand side as the Necrons, we've got Focus. And playing on the left hand side as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got the Blast Furnace. Furnace will be opening up with triple cultists, a heretic, and a Chaos Temple. Whereas Focus is going to go for a fistful of Bill of Scarabs, a Necron Warrior Squad, and a plasma generator or two, or even three. Some very exciting stuff. The slow-to-go Necrons up, going down and dirty against the Chaos Space Marines, who are known to be able to throw some fisticuffs quite quickly in the tier 1s. They are, they've got these blooming heretics who this poor lad has already danced his health down, which when they dance their health down does allow them to build things super duper quick. So one man doing the job of two, but now obviously it's very easy to take down. But thankfully, the Necrons aren't known for their running and gunning into the enemy base in the early game, so you are actually able to do that fairly quickly. Now, you'll be excited to know that both these players are quite high-skilled players indeed, so we are expected to see quite a fun in the sun kind of game, and that the Blast Furnace also has done this match on his YouTube channel, which I'll put a link in the description below. He's very good at commentating on what he does, so he tends to do his own kind of games, and if you want to see his thought process and why he's doing things and why he's not doing certain things as a Chaos Space Marine player, especially if you're new and you want to learn how to play Chaos, definitely something to check out. So like I say, links in the description to this very fine chap in the thing below. So there we are, already got some argy-bargy from the cultists, slapping down a couple of Bill of Scarabs. They are surprisingly big Scarabs indeed, but they will be defenseless against these starry bits of the cultists. Thankfully, though, they've got a fair bit of health on them, so they will capture stuff. And then we're then going to go straight for that decap in there. So their efforts are for naught, but they will pop down a... Oh, I quite like this. So they've built a ghost turret, but not finished it. So it only costs them money, and when, it still costs them money, but they can always cancel it for a free refund if they want it. But now that they want it, they're going to finish it, and then they'll be able to shoot down those cultists, and then these Bill of Scarabs can get back to their wicked and foul business, capturing that strategic point by a fairly large squad of Chaos Space Marines running straight into the base to see what they can achieve. The Necron Warriors coming off a free for the for Focus here. He's able just to pump these guys out all day long, no problem whatsoever. If you want to kind of stop the Necrons from expanding across the map as efficiently, don't necessarily need to kill their plasma generators, but by killing the Necron Warriors it does slow down their army expansion somewhat. So managed to get down a couple of models, but thankfully a couple did manage to stand up as well after getting slain, so that's actually a pretty good get for Focus there. And the Chaos Lord as well, just in case that Necron Lord starts to show his face, which he will do at some point. The Chaos Lord is quite handy at just basically 1v1ing quite a lot of enemy commanders. Definitely one of the higher melee DPSs of a single commander. I know that the Imperial Guard Commander Squad and the... Oh, bloody hell, these structures on the backside getting in my eyes. But yeah, the Imperial Guard Commander Squad and the Dark Eldar Archon, I think when he gets his 2 Incubi, a little bit more damage, but as a solo polar person, you can't really get better than his mighty mace. Necron Lord even trying to avoid that kind of shenanigan. We'll pop down another ghost turret, which is one more than he would otherwise have wanted to have put down. But that then says to Blast Furnace to send the guys back home. He's now put a lot of money in these guys. These guys I do believe you cost 50 blue to reinforce. Yep, just like a Space Marine. 50 blue. And they're just going to come down here. And the ghost turret, quite a long range, will be able to spot them. And only a couple of shots actually to take down a Chaos Space Marine. Kills one of the low health one. Oh dear, focusing on the weaklings, so to speak. I really do hope that this obelisk has got a little bit of an upgrade, so we can shoot down these guys. One big blast right in the middle will do so much damage to all these guys as they get a little bit of a melee focus on this ghost turret, but it does not seem to have got it. Real shame in that, so losing the ghost turret there, but it does cost them a couple of balls. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 200 blue, which isn't the worst exchange in a forward turret I've ever did seen. Now Necron Lord causing a bit of a mischief and a mayhem, very mobile is this Necron Lord, and will be remarkably useful as the game goes forward, considering that he's got his Forbidden Archive artifacts and such. Got this dude just sliding along the floor. Gravity is not Chaos's friend, apparently, in this scenario. As he kills another cultist. Cannot decap things there, because that is not how Necrons work. It's got to be the Billiscavs or the Wraiths that get in there. I also apologise if my sound isn't properly balanced at the moment. I updated my mini fuse thing, which is like a thing that I plug my microphone in, and I've play tested resetting the volume for my voice. I hope it's not too loud. I'm looking at my sound monitor on the left hand side of me and it's looking like it's okay, but I could be wrong, so just in advance I do apologise if that is the case, and all you can hear is my beautiful voice as opposed to the battle going on ahead. But, oh, beautiful! Like Goku for Dragon Ball Z, just turns it around from behind, gets a couple of shots off. Do see the plasma pistols on the Chaos Space Marines aspiring champion, and the Chaos Lord kind of doing what the Necron Lord is doing. We're just focusing on the lowly infantry. Got plenty more Necrons there. And as we say, they can always come back for more, potentially if they die. We'll now take down that listing post and then get a decap on the relic, which is a massive pain in the backside. That's so many Necrons and a flanking Blade One squad. Definitely don't want to stick around in melee with those guys knocking around. It's a general morale drain over time. Even if they don't do any damage, just being near them generally perturbs even the foul forces of the Chaos Gods. And that Necron Lord gradually being brought down to yellow health. That Chaos Lord is still relatively healthy, all things considered. Got that plasma pistol as well, so he'll be quite happy just to engage in ranged combat. While we are seeing the Chaos Space Marines a little bit of distance, do some ranged damage. And the Necrons early game do a lot more damage in melee combat. Their moving and firing accuracy as well isn't too bad neither, so keeping these guys on the move isn't the worst case scenario for them. But absolute madness, loads of things going on down here. The Necrons are also taking on the relic that the Chaos Space Marines have taken on the southern side. We know some flayed ones inside the Chaos Base, although maybe a bit overextending. But they are keeping in fact, 9 whole Space Marines away from throwing down a face down over on this side. But the Necrons do seem to be waxing and waning in numbers. Don't know where that Necron Lord is or if he died. Where are you at the moment, my sunshine? You are over here, getting some free damage done as your health is next to naught. So we'll probably have to keep him outside of combat for a little while until he gets his health regen upgrade in the Forbidden Archive, if that is indeed what he is going for at the moment. Current economy is 45% and 70 in comparison to 104 and 30. Tier 2 for Blast Furnace at the moment, and a relatively healthy economy on both sides. Well, the Necron Lord is... you do have your... what's it called? I always forget his name. The Phylactery and the Phase Shift. We'll probably all see that Solar Pulse upgrade as well. Played ones are coming back out to say hello. Rummaging through the soil, or concrete, or rockcrete, whatever you call it, in this setting. And running with their tails in between their legs. A couple of models, quite low health. Now, the Chaos Space Marines don't have access to that much in the way of health regen, although if you do stick them next to the buildings, all the general chaosy goodness around them, these little glowy bits will help them with the health regen, if memory serves. And now that they are in... is it tier 3 that you get your plasma guns? Hold on, where are you? Yes. So it's tier 3 that they get their plasma guns. So a little bit of a delay in their ability to take on the heavy infantry, which is the vast majority of the armor type of the Necrons. The classic use of a Chaos Rhino to make sure that the boys are a lot more mobile than their erstwhile Necron foes. After all, mobility is a struggle for Necrons. They can teleport around the map on top of their buildings, but that's a once and done for... Oh god, what's the recharge rate on their teleport? About 60 seconds. It's not terribly long, but a lot can happen in 60 seconds. Or maybe it's a bit longer. Problem is, I can't see numbers in my head. I don't know how else to explain it. I've not got this calcul yet. I'm just not smart in the brain department. That's my problem. I've got no excuse. It's all on me. But, trying to pop down a ghost turret to protect this slag deposit. After all, the very powerful Hell Talon will be able to fly across this river and bring down any kind of thermoplasma generator quite easily. So that's why it's popping down a ghost turret, I imagine, first and foremost before investing in that thermoplasma. But, oh no, they've kind of penned into their own, into like a cage of their own making, really. Now that John Cena beam comes down, no chance of them, but thankfully the pathing in Definitive Edition, I mean, in old Dawn of War, that would have been a death sentence. But they managed to get, well, kind of get out, I suppose. But now, multiple friends are there. They've also got the power weapons on the aspiring champions as well, able to do damage into close combat. Necron Lord gets additional health every time he gets a tech up. Have you got a tech up at the moment? You have got a tech up. So you will be doing more and more damage as the game goes on. Like all things Necron, slow to get going, but once to get going, it is quite strong. Also got a squad of immortals in there, which do insane amounts of damage against enemy vehicles and such. So the Hell Talons might not, you know, traditionally they're quite a good thing. I suppose on a map as long as this, the Necrons will have it, you know, a bit of a difficult situation to protect all their ill-gotten gains. But only a couple of volleys from a squad of immortals can do a hell of a lot of damage. And their accuracy, again, firing on the move, is stupidly good. Look at that, just a little bit of lack of attention to detail there. Costs the blast furnace a fair bit of money. Almost killing the Chaos Lord as well. In fact, might even get him. Cannot underestimate how long range those ghost turrets are. Absolutely bonkers.com. But, oh no, 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 haha! Just when you thought you were safe. Chaos Lord. There we go. Get down, get dirty. Get out of my house. That Necron Lord says. Now goes back on the assault, but now he's in a bit of a situation himself. Thankfully, the phylactery, is it called a phylactery? That little glowing thing around him does massively reduce incoming range damage. So being caught out like that isn't a major problem for him, although obviously, if you can avoid being shot, that, you know, that's kind of what he wants. Who doesn't want to be not shot? And does the ghost actually fire over onto the slag deposit? We'll have to keep our peepers peeled on that. Because I don't know why he kind of cancelled that slag deposit, unless he was cancelling it to get the money back. Because he knows that the Necrons are moving on forward. Going to get Heretic for repairing, I imagine. A Defiler for smashing people in the face. Heavy weapons increase. And a squad of Raptors. Raptors jump on top of the mortals to tie them up. And a Defiler to basically punch these guys in the face. You don't normally see Raptors or any kind of jumping units from the Chaos Space Marines or the regular Loyalist Space Marines in late games because these guys die a little bit quickly. But in this context, okay, ignore everything I just said. These guys are off on a journey on their own. They've got their own life choice to think about. And the Chaos Space Marines focusing instead, keeping their eyes on the prize. They don't mind losing a couple of structures here or there if it means that they can damage the economy of the Necrons. And really, you can't allow them to have a thermoplasma generator. I mean, at the moment, they've got 100 green, which is just insane money for the Necrons. Cannot allow this to continue in any way, shape or form. There's a Rhino just nudging people in the face. A Chaos Sorcerer as well. And because of all the pressure inside their base, does force the Necrons back home. So sometimes the best way to counteract a assault in your base is by assaulting the enemy's base in a much more efficient manner. So Thermoplasma is on the last quarter of its health. And again, using those Chaos Rhinos to full effect. Spotting those flayed ones. Doing a bit of a shot, bit of power, jumping straight back into the Chaos Rhino. And it seems that in the patches of recent times... Oh look, for a second they're about to transfer the their passenger cargo there, which would be very high micro skill there. There we are. The old cut and thrust, the bob and the weave. Whilsting the first destroyer, which at the moment, Chaos Space Marines don't have any anti-vehicle for themselves. The overwhelming firepower might do a bit of damage to those destroyers, but not as quickly as they would really like to. Here are the Necrons on the northern side. Slow but surely poking and prodding the Chaos Sorcerer. Well, he's got Commander armor, but you'd never really want to see your Chaos Sorcerer flying high and lonely in this kind of engagement. Definitely better in a supporting role, but obviously the Force of Chaos are trying to basically spread the Necrons as thin as humanly possible. When Necrons are en masse, they're really difficult to deal with. One, like I say, because they've got the ability just to basically rebuild themselves. But also because, oh, I mean, I suppose, same for every army, really. They're stronger when you've got more of them in the same place. With Chaos, they can fight when it's appropriate. And then the moment overwhelming force come towards them, just fall back and go about something else. They're the ones anticipating the Chaos Space Marines down over here. And as you can see, look, the Necrons have gone straight back to pre-100 numbers, so that just shows how much money, or extra money, they were getting from that thermoplasma. But while the Chaos Space Marines are fandangling inside the Necron base, the Metal Men are doing the same over here as well, so a bit of tit for tat. Rebuilding those obelisks, allowing them to get some more men on the field. Really can't lose map control in the mid to late game, because that basically limits your army size unless you invest in a Tomb Spider. But then that does also, you know, limit the amount of destroyers you can get on the battlefield as well. But defences have been made. Chaos have now been forced to come back. Are you a Rhino with people inside of you? You are not. Well, this is also another thing, the decoy Rhino. So if Focus is assuming that Chaos is using the transports to basically ferry his men all across the battlefield, every time he sees a Rhino, he's got to think, Hecky Flip, have you got men inside of you? Or are you just a cheeky old decoy? That's one Chaos Space Marine squad, only got 3 men left. And one of the negatives of transporting yourselves around in a Rhino is that you can't reinforce yourself. You've got to be able to see the sun to be able to get more friends. At no point can you regain your lads by staying indoors. You're going to touch grass. Even the Force of Chaos accept that. A couple of walls go down from a grenade shot. One guy tries to get back up, but will you join the lads because you're... Yeah, okay. If you go too far away from them, they do tend to not get back up. Got the Raptors trying to slice at the Necron Lord, but he is currently at the moment in a partially different universe. Kind of like when you park a TARDIS, it's 1 second at a time. So I think that's how it works. It's been quite a while since I watched Doctor Who. For reasons. So I can't quite remember what the rules are. But double destroyers. Force of Chaos. And... oh! Possessed squad. But still not much in the way of anti-vehicle. Maybe he's hoping that by utterly annihilating the enemy infantry, they can then focus fire the vehicles in not the most efficient way of killing the vehicles, but just by overwhelming firepower. Down here, just one single squad of immortals, poke and prod the economy. Also, if they can kill a demon pair as well, that's my final structure to get, because it's quite expensive. We are seeing a replacement Chaos Lord. He died at some point. Necron Lord getting out there with good health. There's a Tomb Spider. And that will also as well free up some of the production queue as well. He's going to tech up, which is always a dangerous point of conjecture for a Necron player. Because once you're teching up, you can't build anything. So you're going to make peace with your Catan gods. And rely on your Tomb Spider to be a less efficient production building, I suppose. But But I think it's already... there we go. There's some boys to recycle here. Destroyer's not terribly in close combat. So even though the Raps are clawing and scarring their hulls, they can do a little bit of damage back to them. Necron Lord phase shifting, which also affects the people nearby him, preventing them from taking too much damage while they chase after those Raptors. Now, as technically these guys, would we call these walkers? Floaty walkers, maybe? But unlike a lot of other walkers, they're quite high health and high armor. Whereas, unlike other walkers, they're either slow and more melee orientated, or fast and anti-vehicle orientated, but then obviously very easy to kill. With a couple of ghost turrets inside the base, possessed squads unperturbed by the flayed ones, as they probably kind of just really enjoy their vibe, really. Kind of a mutual respect in that regard. Trying to take down that ghost turret. Very expensive to reinforce at 65 blue and 30 green. So any kind of damage done to them is a bit of a shocker. And yeah, actually really quickly been brought down to very low models. Might even get a squad wipe there. And a one dude, two dudes over here getting out of dodge. Lickety split. Very fast moving as well. Don't know, have you got your flaming mouth upgraded? Didn't seem like it. Some of the first upgrade you go for him. Raptors jumping in. I assume you've probably got your melter bomb upgrade. Do a little bit of extra damage against vehicles. And down over here, the possessed squad continue to... They seem to really hate these ghost turrets. Not a big fan. The high attack rate and the high damage, even though they're not anti-build. I don't think you're anti-building, no. But prime targets for killing stuff like that. And the phase shift, managing to protect the ghost turret as well. Oh, but lovely. From on high. There we go. Lovely view. And some people even firing in the sky in celebration. It's a beautiful thing to see. But John Cena beams to prevent these guys from having a good time. Necron Lord's always a bit of a spoil sport when you think about it. Everything about his kit is just basically ruining other people's enjoyment of fighting. But another ghost turret goes down, so this relic is a bit naked. We've also got Demon Prince out of the base. Absolutely insane. Oh dear, but coming in single file, the pariahs, they know exactly what their job is. They absolutely love slicing down high health single targets. With every swipe of their blade, it reduces his overall movement until the model that has done the damage is dead. We've seen on the channel before that a Demon Prince and other single models such as these have been reduced to a crawl by the might of the pariahs. Which is definitely something to watch out for. Chaos now looking like that they are in full retreat for the moment. Probably going to regather their minds. I suppose they've done the damage to the Necrons. A lot of the map over here has been basically sent back to them. Current economy is 152 and 62 compared to 30% and 89. The Necrons are really struggling with their squad cap at the moment. Absolutely need to start recapping and building those obelisks. Already the glow of the pariahs is being felt by that demonic prince. And so many in the way of Chaos Space Marines. In that tier 3 now, they've also got their plasma guns as well, and a couple of heavy bolters. Just for the ranged, I imagine. Mayhem and mischief. There's two separate engagements are going on. The melee on the left, the ranged on the right. Third ones might want to teleport home at some point, but I suppose they're just kind of a placeholder here, giving the Necrons a bit more time to start reconsolidating their holds on things. Spider over here seems to have been forgotten about, or at least is just holding this choke point. So often in team games, you'll see Demon Prince getting shot down really easily in very large engagements, but in 1v1s, they're a lot more of a absolute terror. The movement speed is one thing. I mean, just the absolute sprinting capabilities of this mad lad, but also just to pure raw damage. And one fun fact about this Demon Prince is that you'll notice that he's got a ranged weapon here, but in Soulstorm he doesn't have a ranged attack. It's pure melee. I do know that in the mods they do fix that. But it's just interesting that. Not sure why they gave him a gun and then denied him the ability to use that gun. Maybe some of you in the comments can enlighten me on this. And speaking of other mods, I know that someone in the comments the other day said, when will I do another Ultimate Apocalypse game? Considering that is now on Definitive Edition and all that stuff. And it's all planned. It's just work is kicking my ass, and every evening I just don't have time to do everything and sleep and have time to spend my brain being switched off by playing Helldivers 2, which essentially is my game for, you know, not thinking at the moment. So I hope you will forgive me, but it will happen sometime soon. One plasma generator goes down, which is a big thing at this stage of the game. As the plasma generator starts to decay, the ideally want to be focusing on the plasma generators with the shiny green bits. That Demon Prince been in melee combat with the prize for quite some time now. Look at that. How he's now just tiptoeing ever so gingerly about. And because he's pure melee, that's why the prize is such a wonderful counter against the guys. I mean, just look at that sad man. How slow can you go? He basically can't move at this point. Good heavens. So he's dead. And that can happen to the Grey Demon of Khorne as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why this unit is really strong against single targets. Against large groups like this, maybe less so. Maybe less so. I've lost the Grey Summoning Court. I suppose that's not... I know that's actually a big thing, because the Necrons need that for their ability to teleport around the map. So while the Chaos Forces might lose a lot of men, as they've got no way of exiting here, they have done a fair bit of damage to the Necron stuff. They do have triple Ghost turrets there, and all of them have been upgraded to heavy damage, so even... I mean, no matter what they're firing at, they'll be doing a good chunk of damage. So there we go. Brilliant attack, but also a brilliant defense. Now, can the Force of Chaos catch up on this? They've got a little bit of money saved up. They are in tier 3. Not much in the way of vehicles there. Not much in the way of vehicles. They've got plenty of green money left over, so good start, probably transitioning into vehicles fairly nicely. No obliterators yet. I suppose, I mean, the Blade Rays, it's a catch-22 because you get them into range, and then the Necrons, you know, they'll go towards them and start slicing them up and doing stuff with their flayed ones. They then teleport away. Teleport's quite a long cooldown time, and then just more flayed ones come along. So, hard to keep your obliterators alive. So I'm not sure if Blastfest will even go for obliterators. No, just skip out the middleman and go for a Bloodthirster instead. Now got a small squadron. Going to take on the Ghost Turret. Ghost Turret will be focusing on the Chaos Rhino. Cheeky little use of the Build of Scarabs, pretending they're not going to repair stuff, and then at the last moment coming into repair. The Rhino is dead. The Necron Lord comes in. Nice little save on the Obelisk here. Possessed Squad moving on over. Still not with their Flamers, I don't think. I'm not sure why the Blastfest's not gone for it, but as I say, watch his video and he will explain all of his life choices in this. Every time I look at them, it always looks like they've got a red glove on. But that's not red for a glove. It's red for, well, it's more of a bronze colour for all of the dried blood. There's a Heavy Destroyer, anticipating any vehicular shenanigans from the Force of Chaos. And a Destroyer, very low health at the moment. Possessed Squad, a bit out of their depth here. Seeming to have chased down the Destroyer, but not sure why they're focusing so much on him. And where's the Bloodthirster? Oh, sorry. I'm already looking at the Force of Chaos. Oh, because you summon him by basically sacrificing a commander-esque unit. That's fair enough. Now, Team Spider making use of the down and dying. Teleports in. You see the demon pit. Aspiring champion. Turning into a mighty red mister. He's going to come over and say, get out from my side of the map. In fact, little jump and an even littler jump. Ooh, I like that. And he's got no jumps left. And you see those pariahs? I thought, no. Keep me the heck away from these guys. Because, I mean, a couple of swipes of these, and then this melee-only unit will be utterly wasted. So not a great situation for him. We'll see the heavy destroyer and get a couple of licks in there. We know also the Chaos Space Marine's been upgraded for that infiltrate ability. So we'll now need to either see some tactical use of Build Scarabs to make sure that they can spot them with their infiltration detection, some Wraiths, or having to rely on the temporary infiltration detection of the Solar Pulse. Inside the base, the possessed Marines are doing a number, but Restore Monolith for additional firepower. Chaos Predator as well is in here, and they do manage to take down 2 of the Gauss turrets in quick succession. Be careful, really, really careful now that the Restore Monolith is on the line there. After all... Oh, I like that. Oh, you folk are going to come in here? But no. We know exactly where you're going, and we're going to chase you around. Oh, he's going to go for it. Oh, I've been sliced a couple of times. Ah, sacrilegious. A most unceremonious retreat from that Bloodfest, and already just a little bit winded it down. If winded it is even a word. Oh, Destroyer puts these guys in a... Oh, what do you call this? I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically... They're immortal now, you can't do any damage to them, but they also can't move, which is just a good way of ignoring half your enemy's army. But yeah, what I was saying about the Monolith is that, you know, really good... Where have you gone, Monolith? There you are! Gonna make the long way around over on this side, having to rebuild the Necron Lord. Always dangerous because, obviously, the only production building in Necron land. And so if this dies, it teleports back over here with very low health, so it's very easy for then the enemy to come over and quickly do a double tap on it. So maybe if the Necrons have spare money, which they do, but I assume you're getting other bits and bobs on the go, to you know, build up a secondary monolith. Carl still only got a limited amount of vehicle cap.
Enemies.
And all squad cap as well.
Enemies.
But they're trying to keep the pressure on the Necrons as much as they can. Which is understandable. We've now got Bloodthirster and a Predator coming over here. We've also got a Lord Destroyer seeming to hide behind the Storm Monolith. Now, not only can this guy lock people into stasis, but he can also steal an enemy vehicle as well, which is pretty good. Go on, Pariahs, chase him down. Ah, and the defeated male leaves. He just looks very sad, doesn't he? Ah, poor boy. Well, that's what you get for not bringing a gun to a fight in the future. Now we've got the Chaos Space Marines inside the base. Oh, look! No, take that, you bastards! Says the Heavy Destroyer. But jumping over the river allows the Bloodthirst a little bit of space. Now bringing forth a couple of bloody men. And the locking people in place with the Lord Destroyer. So the Flame Ones now can't do any damage to them, but they can now focus all their attention on the Bloodthirster. Which also bearing in mind as well that the Bloodthirster doesn't do very well against commanders. So this is why you're seeing the Lord Destroyer also chasing down the Bloodthirster. It might actually even be an idea just to not have him. Save him for absolutely late game and try and get something else on the go. But I mean, if you can get him, why not? He's fun to have, isn't he? Big blast from the blast himself. Prize have now made their slow way on over. Candle Bloodthirster reacted time. Oh dear. They've got him. They've got him in his clutches. Although, there we go. I thought we were engaged in range stance for a second then. Solar Pulse. Stops those guys from firing on the left-hand side for the moment. Now trying to smack down this energy core. Where is the... do you not have a thingamadoo-dad for the monolith anymore? That's a bit perturbing. Well, he's off on his own journey. A slow meander towards the Chaos base. In response, the Necrons are losing a good chunk of their own base. Where's the Lord? The Lord is in here. Phase shift to keep the buildings alive for the moment. Although the Necrons are well and truly outnumbered here. Lord Destroyer not quite able to capture a Chaos Predator before his life goes down. Which is a massive problem. And also now sending... Oh, quite like this. You never see attack scarabs in a game because they're an aircraft unit that only attack in melee, but this is the one context that you'll probably actually see attack scarabs. First time in nearly 3 years. Have I been doing this for 4 years? I think about 4 years I've seen an attack scarab squad actually hit anything, let alone kill something. There we go. History's been made. We're witnessing Landshark history. What a sad time for everyone. Oh, look at that. That slow meander. Like walking through syrup, treacle, sticky toffee pudding, whatever fixed substance you can think of. And the monolith is just going to sit a little bit further behind and do its own thing. Although, hold on, the prize is dead. Yeah, the prize have died. So that means he now gets back on his movement. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. That is most unfortunate. Yeah, it just seems that there was a really strong Necron defense. They had loads going on for them. But the force of chaos just kept hammering them, essentially. Gradually wearing and tearing them down. Would have really helped if the Storm Monolith was back at home, but it takes him absolutely ages to return. Might have been an idea to keep that Monolith in the home base and keep it as a defensive structure. Maybe focus overplaying his hand too early. All the things going on at the moment. Love to see it though. Relic on relic action. The Necrons do have a lot of money saved up actually. So you can still pump out a lot of good stuff. More Chaos Space Marines being switched off, but they've still got the Predators on the go. They've got no army apart from the Monolith, and only one production structure. Which is why, like I say, when you've got a mobile Storm Monolith, a secondary Monolith is always a good shout. It seems the Chaos Space Marines, they've popped the cork on that Restore Monolith. I mean, all these bits are still alive over here. It teleports back to whence it came. And that, boys and girls, Focus says GG, Blast Furnace says GG, in capital letters no less. And what an absolutely fantastic game. Right riots and fights all the way through. I think we saw the best of both factions in that game, seeing all their elite units and seeing very specific, stratagems that are quite useful for each side. Especially, I mean, we saw big attack scarabs. Never get to see those guys. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, it was just the unrelenting aggression from the forces of chaos, constantly doing some map denial, making sure that the Necrons had the smallest army as humanly possible, even as they were getting, the slag deposit and had that wonder economy. Only one production building, and especially when that one production building is a million miles away from home, does make defending the base a little bit difficult, and I think that's what essentially got them in the end. But there we go, so that was the game, so cheers boys and girls for watching at home, and if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one game a week, and the results with Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. My name's been Mr. Lunchshark, pleasure's always never short, now see you in a bit, peace.